Good afternoon, traders and investors. Welcome to Thursday's At the Close show. This is Joel Elconin along with Kenny, Hit the Bid, Warlock, Glick, who's just made it back here real quickly. Here we are to end the week. Quick rundown of the market. 3156.50, folks. That was the top number on my sheet. That was your June 16th high. We hit that. We got a little COVID news out of Florida. That sold us off to 31.19 and a quarter. We're 10 points above that. Your pre-market low, I don't think we have to worry about that. That's at 30.95 and a half. Overall, just a good day for the market. They love the jobs number. I guess 10, 12 unemployment is good. Crude up 50 cents at 40.32. Gold just hanging around 1800, can't really bust through. Up 830 at 1788.10. Silver in the green by 5.2 cents, and Bitcoin clinging, and I mean clinging to 9,000 here. It's down $240 at 9,805. And now, after having Jeremy Newsom this morning, we are now joined by Kenny, the Warlock. Do you have any other nicknames besides Kenny, Hit the Bid, Warlock, Glick?
Are you serious? I'm the Abraham of assets, the Barack of bread, the Cain of cash, the David of ducats, the Elijah of earnings, the Frank of funds, the Glick of gelt, the Harry of, I don't know. You can keep going. What's up, my man?
I like that. I never heard that shtick before.
I got jokes. I got stories and jokes for all days.
You got the G, and then you kind of like H. But it'd be nice if you could go all the way through here. So, just overall, just broad market thoughts here. I mean, I guess we had a COVID crisis or something, and the market went down, and we're right back up. I mean, come on. What? Just give us your overall market thoughts here after a really good week for the markets.
I heard there was a race war going on. We're burning cities down also.
Oh, I forget. That's bullish, though.
I know. Murder hornets. I was, thinking of getting a murder hornet tattoo. I was thinking about getting a Little League baseball team and naming them the Murder Hornets. That just came and gone. I heard there was an asteroid coming also. And then we also had, they found gold on the moon. We're all going there. And I don't know, Tesla is going to space, and they're going to colonize Mars, and everybody wins. Okay. I don't know, man. It's been, it's the same day to me every single day. It's just because I really don't leave the house too often anyway. So other than the sports and the concerts being, taken away from me, which is my only recreation. I wouldn't know anything was different. I was caught off guard. Again, I go back. We were telling the story today about that after that 11-day period where we crashed, and then we came back, and then we started rallying. The Wall Street Journal put out an article and said that was the shortest bear market we ever had, and we're back into a bull market. And everybody laughed. What a joke. What a dumb article. That's ridiculous. This is a bear market bounce. Don't trust it. This is just fear of missing out. Don't trust it. You don't see moves like this in a bull market. You don't see moves like this in a bull market. This is just a bear market bounce. Oh, now it's just a fear of missing out. And next thing you know, it was the same story. Oh, it's the wall of worry. Nobody was saying how this is legit. We're going all-time highs. The market's fine. And then suddenly the dynamic, or let me use the word of the year, the narrative changes. I hate this word, the narrative. The story changed, the narrative changes, and now everybody's back on to all-time highs. Nothing matters. But It is what it is. What can you do?
Why fight it, right?
Right.
Going with the trend. I mean, and well, first of all, you're just like Dennis. You don't leave the house anyway, so that's not a big difference for you. But when I talked to Dennis, about the markets and stuff, and from our earlier days of trading, when the market fell out of bed and you were short, I mean, whether it was a bull market or bear market, I mean, you could just sit there. And you could anticipate the bounces, and you could see the stock trade, and that's a mop up print, and you need to participate in the SPOO's return. But now, you're sitting on a short position and you're like, hey, I'm riding this baby, till the cows come home. Next thing, you're breaking even or losing on the trade. So it's just become a two-way market. And I'm actually, the upside's easier to trade because these rallies are just boom, 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 kind of like we had this morning. Of course, you get the COVID news and things kind of change around. But let's talk about some of the stocks we talked about this morning. We talk about the Tesla beast, and I don't know. I don't know if you have this in any of your portfolios. My wife put a little chunk of this in one of our portfolios. And as I said in the morning, we bought it at like, I think 420 or whatever, it went 500, 600, 700, 800. I'm like, sell it, sell it, sell it. And then it went 800, 700, 600, 500. And I'm like, sell it, sell it, sell it. And here it is at 12, 10, 79, up $91. So if it crossed 1,200, is it going to 1,300?
1,500.
Oh, I forgot. Okay.
120 gets you 15. 120 generally gets you 150. So now at 1,200, you're probably going to tack on another, 300 points. And that has been, again, I'm old school. So we didn't see too many stocks getting into the thousands back in 99. But once you got into the 80s, you generally got to that 120, and 120 usually got you 150. And then you get to, usually once you got into the 150, you saw a $200, $250 stock. Why I loved Spotify when it finally broke 200, there was no way that stock wasn't going at 250. That was a pretty good trade. But yeah,
we're on Spotify. Did you know that? Do you ever listen to us on Spotify?
No, you're on Spotify. Would they tape your show, put you on the channel?
I don't know. Spencer signed us up for it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know. I think we got like 5,000 or 10,000 people on there. Does that mean anything? I don't know. Do you use, and just for our folks here that are trading, and a lot when we talk about on the show, if you're looking for targets, you're not going to buy Tesla up $90, right? It's basically $10 lower than the open. Do you ever, when you're trading these hot rods and stuff, pay attention to like the pre-market highs? And the only reason I'm mentioning it is I kind of like to use those as targets. If I was trading this beast, 1232 was your pre-market high. So if I was so inclined to short this thing, which I have a few times along the line with puts and haven't done very well, you leaning on that, do you ever use, I know you don't get up about 925, so you probably don't have much time to check out the pre-market action, but do you do that at all? Do you lean on the pre-market highs and lows?
Absolutely amazing. I even used the aftermarket from the prior day. So basically, that's all I do. What I love, my favorite trade is during earnings season, I take the reaction highs and the lows from the knee-jerk reactions. You usually have 3 reactions in the aftermarket when they report. You have the initial blast or crash on the EPS. Then you have you have that snapback move, and then you have the forward guidance move, and then you have the conference call, and you'll have maybe another move there. So I take all of that into consideration the next day, because if you break the ranges from the pre-market or the aftermarket, you generally want to stay with that trend. And then if you do test a low or a high from pre-market or aftermarket, and those don't get violated, then you could start going counter trend using that spot as your out. So I love pre-market and aftermarket.
Big question for you. Big question here. So we know you're a big VWAP fan. Yeah. Right? Now the volume, man, it can be sketchy in some of these stocks in the pre-market. When you're drilling down on your VWAP, do you use the pre-market action and the pre-market volume?
Yeah, that's what's great about it. That's why, again, earnings season is so great that you get more volume. A lot of times pre-market, you're not seeing volume. You're seeing lots of big prints up and down. By the way, we're actually getting some action into the close here.
Yeah, we are. We are 350. Man, had a short earlier, but I put a stop in like a dummy. But anyways, fighting the trend is not always the best thing to do. Maybe you got some imbalances here. I don't know. It was just such a fluff rally. Did you get the memo that the report was going to be good, the jobs report? Because I didn't get that memo. But the people, because the people are out there buying it overnight, man. I mean, it was like a no-brainer. I did put in some low ball bids and not get done on them. But they fluffed it up, and now they're taking the profits. We're going to have the Friday high here. Just selling off a little bit on the close. We're coming up on that intraday low at 19 and a quarter. I didn't see the imbalances yet, but I mean, a lot of times they're getting offset. I just think what you have in here is just some good old-fashioned profit taking after a very, very good week in the markets. So let's talk about a stock that you introduced us to a long time ago, and it was VTIQCY or something like that. And now it's Nikola, and this thing finally came in. Did you get down and dirty in this one today?
I was on the wrong side of it. When it looked like it was about to squeeze, they got back over the VWAP, and it's kind of my favorite trade. When you got a stock that, I think it should be going down, and it's not going down, just like that workhorse, and we'll get to that later. But in particular, all of these stocks, again, I'm a bear by nature. I don't want anybody forget that. So when these high flying stocks that really nobody knows about, pump and dumps, if you will, most of these are going to revert back to where they came from, and we'll never hear from them ever again. Whether this company revolutionizes, electric hydrogen power, who knows? But when they're shorted and they don't go down, the shorts have to cover. And that usually happens at VWAP. So when this Nikola today broke VWAP, it was a buy, and it did spike up 2 points. But if you didn't take your profits, next thing you know, it's selling off 15. So I love these plays. I wish I could have shorted it, but there's no shorts available on my platform today. But this is all of those stocks, every SPAC play, all of these pump and dump therapy.
Hey, Kenny, can you talk about your losing trade there? Because Triple D's on, and where are you going?
No, go ahead. Dogs and kids and all kinds of stuff going on.
We got to see Bob Marley too. I mean, come on. No, talk about where your entry, how you manage the trade. Because Des talks. I mean, Des cuts his losers. I mean, he's traded so many positions that if something's going red, he just has very little patience with it, and he gets out of them a lot. He's looking for instant gratification. Just talk about your entry, how you got in and how you got out, and how you just moved on from it, and it didn't really affect your overall day.
You're talking about NKLA in particular?
Yeah. Yep, that long today. Yep.
Yeah, if you see it at 62.5, I love a half number break. I love a VWAP break when it lines up with the half number. So I got long at 62.50. Next thing you know, this thing's rocking to 64. I'm not thinking sell right there. And then it starts to roll over. So then I start selling it in half-point increments. And then once it broke back under the VWAP and broke where I bought it, I sold the rest. So I sold a little bit on the way up, took some profits. But again, when the stock's at just 64, I'm thinking we're going to 65, going to 100, just like every other stock. So once it rolled back over, I'm not going to take a loss on the rest of it. So, I got out just like the QQQ today. Once we at 253, we got to 254. Obviously, I'm thinking 255 at that time. But once you roll back over, 254 becomes a stop, and then 253 becomes a stop, and then the trade's over. And that's basically it. There's one rule that I live by, which will save everybody. It's okay to be wrong. Apparently, I'm the only one that ever gets a trade wrong. I mean, I don't know if you ever lost money in the stock market, or Dennis, or anybody. I'm the only one that ever got a trade wrong, apparently. According to StockTwits, according to the Twitter, according to the internet, I'm the only idiot that ever gets anything wrong. But here's why I'm still doing this after 20 years. Oh, wow, this trade isn't going well. And then I hit the button.
And then sometimes, and we mentioned this too, sometimes your best winning trade could be the exit on a losing trade.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, I do keep a taser near my trading desk, right? So every once in a while, I remind myself, if you don't sell the stock when it breaks under VWAP, you need to be tased. There's rules to trading. It's okay to be wrong. You just don't stay wrong. So when I hear people say, oh man, I got crushed in that stock. Oh my, why? Why'd you get crushed? As soon as it broke under 62.50, it was over. Sell. There's no ego here. The algorithm doesn't care about how you feel. The market doesn't care about whether or not you left the house without your stop on. I don't want to hear it. The
Let's
trade
just
went
talk.
wrong.
I
Get
just
out.
we're gonna finish with NKLA here, and it's just a crazy borrow, isn't it? Like 647% or something. I didn't even look at the options market, but if anybody follows us on the show for a long time here, I got the daily, this stock reorder, whatever. But you had several, like, look at all that consolidation, and like, yeah, it was a $20 consolidation range, but you had 3, 4, 5 lows in the same area. Someone really was trying to get out here. What's this at? Man, these stocks are at the 75, 76 area. But a lot of times those trades, like even if you were using that lowest low of 62.33 or even $60, once it fell out of the bottom of that channel. So, just because the stock's ripping up and ripping down, okay. If you missed the boat one way, wait for a consolidation period and then, try and catch a ride the other way. This one is a tough one now, and we'll see where it goes for here. What else did we talk about this morning? We talked about
I
NIL.
have two stocks hitting new highs right now that I own.
Which
so the
ones?
market's tanking into the close. I bought, again, this is the trend that's working. Let me explain one more time. DADA. Why am I in it? Because right now, the trend of these IPOs are when they break new highs, buy them. So DADA, the stock has beaten the living, can I say some bad words? It's beat me up intraday because it's the lack of liquidity in the stock. But each time it breaks a new high, it tends to make another new high. So today I said, all right, I know the stock has not treated me well, when I've pushed the issue, but at 25.50, I got it. Sorry, at 20, I think it was 24.70. I got to get involved again. And then at 25.50, I got to push it a little bit because when it does break, it's generally had some follow through. Thing is, you got to sell into these moves because the stock is pretty vicious for a $20 stock. It's reversed on me a couple of times.
Do you stop to catch these positions, or are you just hawking on the screen and you're able to catch them as they go through?
I got my watch list and I have my alert and I know where these stocks have gone. So basically, I'm just buying the momentum burst when it got over that all-time
So
high.
just from like a market structure standpoint, let's say it goes through 25.5 and that's probably a pretty big spread, 25.5, 26. Do you try and go into the middle? Do you go 26 bid? Do you go 26.10 because you just get something done? In those thin stocks, it used to be a lot easier to, you could always get done in the middle. But is there a particular way that you go about something, to attack it just from a tactical standpoint? For me, trading, the E-Min, there's plenty of liquidity. Someone will let me do whatever I want at any price, as much size as I want. And
Right.
I get very great executions on my stops and my entries and exits and stuff. But I haven't traded a thin stock like this in a long time. Just give us a tactical approach to something like that when you're trying to buy something in a strong up market.
Well, you just nailed it. You just got to get a little familiar with how these stocks trade. This one is one of those where they drop the bid, but the offers will disappear also. So you'll get involved. The next thing you know, the offers leave. You're feeling good, but then the bid drops 60 cents also. So you don't know what to feel. And then it starts to tick a little bit higher. The bid comes along for the ride. With this one, the way I've been trading it, it moves in like 30-cent, 50-cent increments. For a $20 stock, it does tend to be a ripper. So I'm in at 25.50. I'm immediately offering out at 25.99. And then if it breaks 25.99, then I'll raise the stop to that middle point, 25.75, to lock in to my gain. And then I'm thinking in the back of my head is maybe I hang on to some of this because my swing trades are usually day trades that have gone right. So now I'm still in the data. I'm taking it over the weekend. Oh my God. And I'm in DNB, Dun & Bradstreet. I had no idea this company wasn't public. They've been around for 30 years. Dun & Bradstreet. We used to do business with them 20 years ago.
DNB, right?
DNB. So I didn't watch the IPO yesterday. Take a wild guess where I bought it today. I will give you one guess. Where do you think I bought DNB today?
Let me go to my daily here. Well, the worst price you probably bought it was 25 and a half because that had been the high, right?
I'm gonna give you one get. I'll give you. I buy stocks when they break all-time highs and prior day highs. So
23.93.
I'm buying the stock today at 25.87. That's it.
Okay.
The end of the story. As soon as it broke yesterday's high, I'm in. I don't care what the stock is. Every IPO that's breaking new highs has been a buy. So I'm in. And I'm thinking, all right, now that it broke, going back to Dennis's, the whole thing, 20 gets you 22.50, 25. So now that I'm buying the stock, again, over 25, what am I looking for? I'm looking for 27.50. Look where the stock just closed. What's up? So,
all right, Kenny, we got to do Spinner's asking you for one stock, I guess, a recent IPO, API. Is that correct? Is that something that has been on your radar?
yes, because I didn't check it out, but this is another one. So exactly. Today I would have bought it if I was watching it at the opening, that June 26th high. That would have been your entry today. Again, looks like a pretty sick volatile stock. I think it was 56 and it went to 42. But, I haven't been watching this one. But if I was watching it, this is one of those where I would have bought the all-time high, the opening print, of the IPO. And that has been working. I don't know what these stocks do. I don't care anymore. DMB, at least I know the company. But, Dada, apparently it's some sort of grocery store in China. For all we know, it's three guys saying gross things. You can't trust anything in China. But breaks the IPO price, I'm involved.
All right, Kenny. We got a little bit past the close here. We sold off a little bit, still bouncing, still closing at the highs for the week. 30, we dipped to 14 and a quarter, but a little 10-point bounce there. Overall, a good week for the market. The old Friday high trick, 56 and a half. That'll be a big level looking for us next week to break through into I believe 32.20 was the high of the move back before the expiration. So just one more time, it's Kenny hit the bid, Warlock Glick. You're also the Abraham of assets.
Sure, I go with that one. The Baraka bread.
Oh, Baraka bread. Okay.
King of cash, the David of ducats.
Okay.
The Elijah of earnings, the Frank of funds.
Okay. All right, folks, thanks for joining us this week. Spencer will be back with us. I'm still trying to decide whether or not we're going to have Spencer back on Monday. But we'll be here. Have a good long weekend. Be safe on the 4th of July. My local pool's opening up. I know what I'm going to be doing, having a few pops and doing some swimming and golfing. Everyone have a safe weekend. Kenny, we'll get you on the show again just in a couple weeks. Thanks for helping me out here with the afternoon session. Everyone,
yeah, great, man. You guys are the best thing on the internet. I love it. Good luck. Have a great weekend. Say hi to everybody. Be safe.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Kenny.
See you, buddy.
Hey, Kenny.